My boobs are big. Hello, and welcome of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine. Oh my God, my wine.
Too far away.
Oh, clink and drink. That's a crime, having your wine too far away. Mm-mm. It's like butter.
No, it's so much better than butter Chardonnay.
I am your hostess with the mostest, Lola Stardust, and this is bugging me. How my shirt? It's the boobs.
Nothing you can do about it. Just accept it.
I'm accepting that there's like a shelf here that's hiding my necklaces.
She can do magic. She can make the disappear.
I can make my necklaces disappear. Good Lord. Okay.
And my face.
So before we start our topic, I'm going to turn this over to our wine connoisseur, Silenus Stardust. Why don't you tell us about the wine that we're drinking?
Very good, I will. Besides. So tonight, I chose a very, very special style of wine.
Very nice.
It is what I consider the most elegant, well-crafted, sweet wine in the world.
Like me.
It is called a Sauternes. And I chose Miselle Sauternes, Chateau Miselle Sauternes. And what makes a Sauternes so special is the process to make the wine. It is incredibly difficult, and you have to be very careful on the process. What they do is they take moldy grapes that come from Chardonnay grapes out of the Bordeaux region of France. And it gets this mold called botrytis.
That sounds so... I'm sorry. It sounds like a yeast infection.
But it's a mold. I mean, it's not too,
Yeah,
it's not too far off. I
so
mean, realistically,
it's wine with it's grapes with a yeast infection.
And so, what this mold does is it oversweetens the wine, and it makes this elegant, sweet, almost oily in the viscosity levels of it wine. And it takes 4 to 5 times the amount of grapes to make a bottle of a Sauternes or a barrel. And because the mold and everything has to be taken out of the grapes as it's being made, you typically have to barrel them at least 2 years for them to be rounded out to be even ready to be drinkable. Sauternes, like this one, is right around $20-$25, and this is on the extreme low end for a Sauternes. A good Sauternes is going to start at $80 to $150.
We all close our eyes when we drink it too.
Yeah,
I notice it's like
it's
drinking
just so delicious.
heaven. It's like swallowing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Some ambrosia.
Yes. It's a dessert wine. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. And it's got almost a honey.
Yeah, it's got honey notes to it.
There's honey. What other notes?
You have tropical fruit. You have some apple. You have a little bit of citrus, some grapefruit.
It's very grapefruity.
Yeah, Elaine is tasting the grapefruit on it. Who is going to be our guest, and you'll be with her in a minute.
And I taste the honey.
Yeah, you taste the honey.
Isn't that interesting?
I get the honey at first, and then it moves to the grapefruit, and then that finishes off with like the apple type notes. Apple, kind of almost pear-ish.
Yep, and these are very frequent flavors that you'll get out of Sauternes.
So good.
Where some of the most expensive Sauternes I have seen in person are between $600 and $1,000. And what's different about
what makes them so special?
Because
I'm all mad. All of us. What makes them so? Because this tastes like
because
$100.
You figure 5 years in a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of time that is sitting down there. It's time is money, and when the longer it's in a barrel, the more they have to charge for it because they're letting it age in the barrel and get all the flavoring. But what's one of the interesting features about Sauternes is, unlike most white wines, they age wonderfully. Like, you can find Sauternes 30, 40, 50 years old, and they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
You can also open a Sauternes, and as long as you keep it corked and chilled after it's open, you can keep them open for a few months. Because the level of sweetness and the mold factor that is made into it in the grape allows the ageability even when it's open, and it doesn't vinegarize. But it has to stay chilled once it's done.
I'm not playing with your ass. I'm playing with the dog.
I'm just going to play with my ass. It's okay.
There goes my phone.
Dropped your phone.
Thanks.
So if you ever want a really, really excellent dessert wine to serve and to really impress, look into a Sauternes. Expect to pay the money, but in this case, money really does dictate how good a flavor you're going to get.
Well, you said this was $20.
Yes, and this is
this tastes.
Scrimp on your other wines and buy this one.
Yes,
and in the World of Sauternes, this is a very feeble Sauterne, but it is still delicious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, this tastes expensive.
Your guests will remember that you served a lovely dessert wine with the final course of your meal.
Yes,
and why we drink it in a little excess.
How you're all.
Typically, Sauternes are drank two, maybe 2.5 ounces at a time because of the richness and the sweetness factor, and it's typically eaten with dessert, so your stomach's already have all that sugars.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not a Lola.
This is not a Lola pour wine, but because we haven't had dessert and dinners really tonight, we're gonna drink it like it's Lola.
We're gonna drink it like it's Lola.
We're gonna pay for it in the morning.
Oh God.
Oh, sugars. Well. But I'm gonna go ahead and step out now and have our guest come and join us, and she's gonna bring up a conversation that we've talked about a few times, but it was her experience to go through it. So, Isleen, care to join us?
Thanks, honey. Give me a kiss.
I'm gonna go drink some wine.
Don't drink it all.
Drinking all the wine.
Hello, it's Isleen. Yay! So tonight was a special night for my coven sister. She got to be initiated as a first-degree priestess. Yay! So, like Silena said earlier, we've talked about this topic, but we'd like to talk about it with the people that are going through it right after they've gone through it and hear their experiences, because it's going to be different. I mean, you can read in a book what it's,
because I've done that a few times.
Yeah,
I've read it, but I purposely didn't do any refreshers this time around.
Yeah,
because it's been a while since I've done any reading on it, so I was just like, I knew certain things that might happen, but I was like.
And there's it's secretive because they're mystery. It's a mystery. You have to earn the right to know that mystery to go through it. It's an initiatory path, so that's going to happen. But like I always say, and like we all say, I mean, you can look up almost all of it online. It's in books, but again, it's about the experience. So tonight we initiated her.
The whole point with a mystery is you can read about it all you want, but it's experiential that makes it what is special about it until you experience it. Because I struggled with that a long time, not feeling like that was ever going to happen for me.
Because you knew what it was, what the basic outline was, but you've been looking for the experience, and now she gets to have it.
Was everything you thought it would be?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then a little bit more extra just because,
you went through it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, without giving away too many secrets, how did it make you feel? What were the feelings that you had when you were going through it?
Initially just a lot of contemplation, which has been over the past, it's been a buildup. So it started probably about, after Spring Mysteries, when I could really start to focus on it, is when it really started to build. And even then it was still kind of in the back of my mind once we arranged a date and stuff. But I've had this very much like, I have to take care of this and then I can focus on that.
Yeah.
And then I have to take care of this and then I can focus on that. So that's been my train of thought for like the last couple of weeks.
Well, you've been going through a lot of transitional stuff, which I think it's just perfect that you went through an initiation with what you experienced at Spring Mysteries, working with Pesaphy. Who the hell is I really haven't drank that much. I swear that's the problem. I'm not drunk because anyone who watches the show, you can tell when I'm drunk because
it's even on my shirt.
Persephone. She's been working with Persephone, who's the goddess of transformation. Change. So this was a transformative. Thank you. Transformative time. I'm really not drunk. So
that's what she said.
Were you? I hope it was a good experience. I mean, was it? Like you said, it was kind of what you expected. What were the different parts, if you can explain?
Well, there were
feelings that kind of surprised you, like you went, "Oh, that's different."
Well, there were some things that I expected to be in one manner, and then they ended up being just slightly different. So that was a little bit of a, okay, well, that's how this is going to be.
Yeah.
which is funny because you read about it, you may think, oh, it's going to be this way. I know all about that. I'm an expert.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have played this on expert mode.
She has. I mean, if the craft was a video game, she would have the high score all the time on us. Maybe.
Question mark?
Question mark? Yeah.
Except for that one thing.
Except
that one level?
That one level, yeah.
Passed that yet.
That level sucks for a lot of people. I've got resin, dragon's blood resin. Did I just smear it all over my face?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I just realized I got from the incense. Mm-hmm. I got it all over my fingers. It's a sign that you're a witch. You have candle wax on you, incense,
and many jars about your house.
And lots of jars and
empty jars,
yes,
mind you.
I know. I have,
and you're always collecting more.
And I've got something in my eye. So
we got jazz.
We got a lot of jazz. So how does it feel to be recognized as, because first degree, you are, even though you have been a priestess of the craft for a very long time, but first degree through coven work and through you're working to be in clergy.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to be kind of official?
Kind of official.
Well, yeah, it is official.
It's official.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
I feel really good about it, but at the same time, I'm trying to remember that there's always going to be someone out there that's going to try and pull the more authentic than thou card.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've, again, read about a lot of that too, where it's like, okay, well, yeah, you're Wiccan, that's cool, but you're an American Wiccan. Or you're in that eclectic coven, you're not
traditional
enough. You're
not a traditionalist.
Even if you are in a tradition, it's like, unless you can, people get all in there. Unless you do it my way, you're wrong.
Which goes against everything that this religion is about. And I was just talking to my husband about this the other day, where it always surprises, and we're going to go off topic, but that's okay. And I'm not flipping people off. This is just my long finger that I can get to my eye. I'm wearing eye makeup.
And which limits what you can do with your eyes.
And so the mascara is flaking in my eye, so I am really sorry.
I purposely did not wear makeup tonight.
Yeah, I did because I wanted to look pretty. But, well,
I wanted to wear makeup because I was pretty, but I was worried that, emotions might be a thing.
Yes. And you did get a little weepy-eyed with the necklace.
Little.
You went, I was like, I want to make her cry. Show the necklaces you got. She got a couple nice gifts today.
These are pretty.
Yep, and that's Jessica Popino's work.
Zen by Fire.
Zen by Fire. She made that especially for Islene's initiation. And then we got that. Morrigan got that.
Which is so pretty.
That's
the camera's
really
not doing that one justice.
Yeah. And then she got some plants from Willow. And then she got some pomegranate liqueur from my husband. And then Jessica made the necklace, but I commissioned.
Yeah.
I snuck over to Jessica at Spring Mysteries when I had time.
You were a sneaky snake in the closet?
Yep. And I was like, so here's what I want. I gotta go. And then here's what I want. I gotta go. And so, and then she, with her wonderful mind, and I think my dog farted, but because something stinks.
They can't smell it.
I can.
But they can't.
I know, they don't care. Who's they? Oh, you guys. I'm like, who's they?
They.
Yeah. You. Well, if you could smell it. Wow, this is a ridiculous.
We're having fun tonight.
Oh my
Pan
God.
Is
Pan is in the circle was in.
Pan is always trying to smell it.
Oh my God. It's in the air. So really. Yeah, during circle
Beltane.
We have Beltane energy. It's fun. Did you say Beltane? Okay.
Beltane.
So you bring up a good point where you were talking about, you're official. But it makes me sad to hear that because of the people that are out there that are, well, it's not this tradition, or you didn't do it the right way, or that's how you do it. No, I've never heard of that. It must not be real, or whatever. You need to celebrate it because you've earned it. And we know that you've earned it. You know that you've earned it. and
It's
don't
been a
let,
hell of a road to get here.
you've been looking. Why don't you tell a little background of how long you've been looking for a circle, or at least a group of people?
A group of
Hi,
people. Like
Nene.
I've even tried. I tried even in high school with friends, and that just didn't work because
Nene's coming.
the ego of teenage girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were no guys involved. It was just teenage girls. I kind of wish. Well, at one point, my now husband maybe a little bit, but that was he would have been the only guy I think at the time, and there may have been one point in time, but none of the things ever actually solidified into anything.
Yeah,
I've tried to, especially as a teen, it was really easy to be like, well, I'm not 18 yet, so I don't need to find a coven.
Stink dog. Yeah,
I'm not 18 yet. I'm
Go
not
see
going to
Dad.
worry about that yet.
Sorry.
And then
I
of
told
course,
the stinky dog to go see Dad. Did you catch that? That's the one that farted. She stinks really bad. Go see Dad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then after I turned 18 and could actually look, I had just had a baby. My mom passed away. Like, it just wasn't a good time for me. Even though it was a good time for me, like, spiritual, it would have been fine.
Yeah, but
mundane world was not in the right place to have it happen.
And we talk about that. At least from my tradition is you do got to have your ducks in a row on your mundane realm in order to do this.
There were certain things that I had solidly in ducks in a row, and then there were ducks that were just like helter skelter in the background, fucking flying west instead of north or south.
They had their head on their butt on their head. It was like Bizarro World. Yeah, they were not
Willy
quacking.
Wonka's ducks.
Yeah, they weren't quacking. They were oinking. It was like
it was terrible.
It was terrible ducks.
But some of them were okay.
Some were okay. They're all quack quack, and then you got I got a duck head on my butt.
And it took me a few years before I actually started seeking out any sort of coven thing. And the way that my life fell, because my kids are all right about 2 years apart, some a little bit more, some a little bit less. So I have 5 kids, including twins. So the twins are 10 minutes apart. But so it was baby for many, many years. And then it was mommy mode for quite some time. But I was kind of, once the kids started to get, like, I think once Tristan was about 2 is when I really started looking to see what was local. And that's when I found the groups that I started being involved in.
Okay.
And I found some other groups, and it just didn't seem like a right fit.
Yeah.
It happens.
It has to be a right fit. And it's nothing, nothing personal.
No.
It's nothing negative about those groups. Even if you didn't, you dedicated to our coven, and if you had the right, that's why I had to officially ask you, do you want to initiate to first degree? And you have the right to say, you know what, not right now. Maybe I'll stay a dedicant longer, or you know what, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Because it's very personal.
It is
and it
really
has
personal.
to fit for all parties involved.
Yeah.
Because it's not quite. It's not quite like picking up a new lover, but it's a family thing.
It's family.
So
and you're working a lot of, and we've talked about this so many times, but we talk about it because it really is the basis of a good coven, is that you got to have that
perfect love and
perfect trust. It's your family, and it's your chosen family.
And it was so funny because, again, this comes down to, there were certain things, you read about certain things that happened during initiation, and you sit there and go, can I really do that?
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to it, if it's right, you know that you can. You're just like, whatever happens, Yeah.
Absolutely. So she'd been looking for a circle for a very long time, and
I've tried to create a couple,
and
I've successfully created a couple.
Yeah.
Not covens.
Yeah, they were not covens.
There's a difference between just like a group of people that practices together. I call our coven circle, but it depends on what your definition is. I mean, it is a circle, but coven's a little more.
It kind of covens down to that. All covens are circles.
Yes,
but not
all circles are covens. There you go. Kind of like all Wiccans are witches, but not all witches are Wiccan. Yeah. But then you'll meet the one Wiccan will say, "I'm Wiccan and I'm not a witch." I've met people like that, and I'm always like, okay, well, I'll try to. Okay, I don't know how that works, but okay.
I don't understand, but you do you.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy. So,
which is funny because I do get it more the other way. If someone's a witch but not Wiccan, I can understand.
Oh,
that
I
better.
understand that, because a witch is a witch is a witch, but they don't need to be practicing the religious.
Yes.
Because Wicca is a religion.
Even though it's hard for me to necessarily accept that, because to me it's like, for me, they're
hand in hand.
Yeah,
They're the same thing.
They're inseparable.
But that's for you.
That's for me, and that's the thing. I acknowledge
And
that. And
my high priest and high priestess that taught me, and I can't remember which one had which, but the I don't know if it was my high priestess, but one of them was like Wicca and witch are the same, and the other one was like, no, they're not. And so there was always that. They were always
that's
coming
hilarious.
from. They were always coming
See,
from that,
and
which
that's-
actually opened me up to seeing it kind of
from the two different perspectives.
perspectives.
But that's great too, because therein that shows just how broad it can be, even within a certain coven.
Mm-hmm. And so she almost, I mean, it's really funny with Isleen, because we had met doing a community group thing together. I mean, we had met before, but we never really got to know each other until we were in a group together and then we became friends. And then our coven wasn't taking new members at the time. And you had come to me and were like, I know your coven's not taking new members, but if and when they do, it was kind of it was really a funny conversation, because she didn't want to be like pushy, and I didn't want to be like, no. So we were kind of like, well, there's always exceptions, and well, if there is an exception, can I sign up for that exception? But we didn't ever say those words, which was a weird, funny conversation, but we knew exactly what we were saying, because I wasn't ready to take new members yet, because we had just started and whatnot.
But I had been, because we had met for coffee, and I had asked you a bunch of questions. You were like, is this some sort of interview or something?
Yeah.
Kind of.
And that's when I figured it out. I was like, I think she's, and then I was like, well, I didn't really give a definite answer. It was kind of like, well, we'll see. And then it was that Spring Mysteries.
Spring Mysteries ago.
Was it?
It was last year.
It was last year.
It was last year, because then I dedicated it Beltane.
Yeah. So last year's Spring Mysteries was, she just kind of hung out with us, and she became we called her our official member, because and it just worked. It was like we were all like, well, she's part of the coven, and we haven't even dedicated her yet, but you were just like, hey, what's up? This works. I like it. And I was like, oh, okay. And your husband was very, she likes you guys. You're more like, I don't want to be,
I don't want to be that person.
So your husband is like, oh, fuck it. She wants you guys.
You guys are what she's been looking for.
She's been looking for you guys, do this now. So it was really funny, but it all worked out, and it happened the way it was supposed to, because if you think about it, like I said, we weren't really looking for new members at the time, and it just worked out. And that's kind of what's been happening for you ever since you've come to the coven. And I think that's really significant. Yes. What she said and what I said. We said yes.
Yes.
So,
but also no.
But I swear we're not drunk. I swear. Like I said, you guys can tell when I'm drunk. I'm slurring my words and I repeat the same thing over and over. Can I have some more wine? Speaking of slurring words. So do you feel now that we've said it's official? And you know what? I don't want to go official. It's official.
It's official.
Recognize it. It's official. She's a first degree priestess, and we're proud of her, and she should be proud of herself. And so now that you're a priestess, how does that differ from what's the difference now in the feeling of what you've been doing? I know you've been doing solitaire work for so long. Solitary.
You've been
playing solitaire games.
It's like people. Okay, you have to accept that the words change.
They do.
Some people say solitaire, and it does make sense. But I still think of
the card game. Yeah. So you've been doing solitary. You've been doing solitary for so long, and like I've always said on this show, and with people who we talk to, we have all levels of different gifts and talents amongst our coven. And the other day, Willow, I think it was actually yesterday, our other coven sister said, she's second degree, and she said, and she earned that second degree, believe me, she really did. And she said, I don't know as much as Isleen. And I said, that has nothing to do with where we are, because it's not about what you know, it's about how you apply it to your life and how you work with others, and the experiences you have and the lessons that you learn. We could all like just read all the books and do all this stuff and have all this knowledge, and you do, and we often refer to you, like Eric, our dedicant, calls you our oracle, because we do refer to you. And I'm a high priestess, but it doesn't stop me from going, what is that again? What is, because I know that
that's part of the strengths of having a coven is everyone works with their strengths.
Yeah. And so it's important. So being at the level that you are at in your knowledge and in this coven, are you finding it now that it's official and it's the first step of moving up? Are you now excited, or is it clearer now with the knowledge that you have and with your role in the coven? Is that something that you can really see now kind of coming together?
It's starting to gel a little bit more. Yeah. It's just starting to gel a little bit more. And I mean, and the name that I chose to begin with
is this your circle name, or is this only a circle, or are you going to advertise this name?
I am going to advertise.
Okay. So why don't you tell about the name?
So we have Isleen, which is vision.
Yeah.
And then Melanoi is the name that I just added to. Tonight. I figured I would add to. I knew Isleen was the one, and that's going to remain constant. But I knew from the get-go that somehow it was going to get added to. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
After Spring Mysteries and the turn of events that happened, Melanoi, that's how I'm choosing to pronounce it, and it's very specific on how the spelling is supposed to be. Melinoe with the 2 dots over the E.
And now did that come to you with the 2 dots, or is when you look, if you look it up?
It comes in a couple of different forms.
Okay.
It was the 2 dots over the E that was the one that was made clear in some sort of fashion that I'm still not quite sure about, but that's the one.
Yeah.
So, and there are different pronunciations of it. I'm choosing to go with the one that was pronounced in like the Greek on how to pronounce names,
Melanoi.
Melanoi.
The other way is Melanoe.
Melanoi.
But you and I we both liked Melanoi.
Melanoi.
Yeah.
And then there's also Melano, which is more kind of anglicized.
Yeah.
I like Melanoi.
Yeah.
It's Persephone's daughter, but also an epithet of Hecate.
Yeah.
And
which works out perfect.
It really does. The story that goes along with it is it's very similar to other tales of other divine children that come along via the Persephone line, but it's Zeus impregnates Persephone, and in the form of Hades, and it's Orphic, and it seems to be the only time she was ever mentioned is in the Orphic hymns. Mm-hmm. So I'm grabbing most of it from the Orphic hymns. Yeah. There are 2 goddesses that are referred to as the saffron veiled ones.
That's Hecate and
Melanoi.
Melanoi, yeah.
Yep, there are 2. So that's why they think it's a epithet.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just really, really fun.
And I've seen that when they call her when they call Hecate the saffron.
She of the saffron robe.
Yeah, she of the saffron robe is Melanoi.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hitting me now. I have seen it.
And then there's a talisman thing that was a triangle that was found with Persephone, Melanoi, and Phoebe. And it has a bunch of like incantations inscribed around it. It was found in
interesting
I cannot remember the city. I want to say it was Phoenicia, but it may have been just Phoebe.
So,
Did you find something?
I just looked it up in Greek mythology, and Melanoi is a chthonic nymph or goddess invoked in one of the Orphic hymns and presented as a bringer of nightmares and madness.
Yes. So we have vision and nightmare.
The name also appears on a metal tablet in association with Persephone.
Yep.
The hymns are of uncertain date, but were probably composed in the 2nd or 3rd century AD.
There's not a lot on it, but that is.
Have you read the Orphic?
I've read the Orphic hymn, a couple of them.
Yeah, I
not
have a couple
all of them, but I've read a couple of them.
Yeah.
I did specifically read hers, and I was just like, this is. It's weird because Orphic hymns, Orphism in specifically,
okay,
views things, a lot of the gods as the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was even funny, like I talked about. I may talk to you. I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay.
I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay. That's private.
We gotta have
talk.
one private talk.
Yes. So we're on what? Where's the time?
We're at 30 minutes.
Oh, all right. Well, do you have anything you want to say?
I'm just very, very proud of you, and I'm thankful that I have a first degree with me, because me and you get to do a lot of work together over the next year.
Yes.
That's the one thing that makes me kind of nervous is the
thanks.
extra. No, not with you. It's not with you. It's the extra work when I'm already got so much work to do. But I'm like my heart's so willing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'll and it's.
And I can take a lot of that work on for that aspect. I know you have two sides you got to work right now with school and this.
Yeah, but you make of it what you are given. You're gonna make lemonade all the time out of it, because being a student at the school and being in the coven is a really great process, or a really great experience. And what I think is that we are of a different tradition, and we are in the process of trying to start our own tradition. And a lot of it starts off as like funny talk and joking, like Silenus taking my last name Stardust was originally a joke, because I noticed it in the Wise tradition when people were dedicating to Belladonna Laveau. Some of them took the last name, and I wasn't making joke of it. I actually made a comparison to drag queens. I talked to you about this.
Yeah.
And which I always thought was really awesome, because I used to hang out with a shitload of drag queens, and they had their different families. So you had the drag queens that had last name Black. And that means that their mama drag queen was who taught them how to do drag.
Mm-hmm.
So to honor her, they took on her last name of Black. So we had Mylar Black and Selena Black, and then we had the other families that and it was it was an honor to carry on that name. So I always thought that was really awesome that they did that. And Phil and I were talking, and I've talked on the show about you should take on Stardust, and we were kind of just joking about it. And then when he said Silenus, Stardust together, it sounded so good. So I totally forgot where I was going with this conversation. Tradition. So then another kind of joke, but then that kind of stuck with me, was we should start the Stardust tradition. But then when I was thinking of it, I was like, well, that is kind of witchy in what we do, because it's space and the planets and the stars, and we work with all of that stuff. And then the whole concept of we are all stardust, and we are made of stardust, our bodies, and that it's within itself is a witchy concept. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like,
I am a child of earth and starry heaven.
Yes. And it's like, why not start a Stardust tradition? So we go,
or as we in the know like to say, Starduste.
Lula Starduste.
Silenus Starduste.
Silenus Starduste. And you have to shake your head when you say Starduste. All right. So we're starting our own tradition, but we're also bringing in older traditions and your traditional traditions. And so it's an exciting thing to be in, and I'm excited. And so I'm really excited for Silenus and for Usleen. to work together as my first degrees because I've got lots of plans for them, but you guys have each other, which is nice. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward.
Well, you have no choice but to say you're looking forward to it because you're on camera. But when we turn the camera off, you could be like, "Fuck this shit."
I'm really nervous and scared.
Yeah, well,
Help me. Not really.
I'm not here of my free will.
It's my 2 hours out of the box.
I'm a tough teacher. I put them in the box.
Year and a day.
This is my version of year in a day. You go in the box. Go in the. God, we really don't do that anymore. All right, we're done. So, anyways, so thank you for watching. Thank you, Isleen, for letting us experience this and have you talk about this experience. We're very excited tonight. We had a wonderful ritual, and if you want to be a guest, and we've been kind of, I usually promote this show more on Facebook, but ever since right before Spring Mysteries and right after, I've been a little lazy with like really promoting our show.
The
and
integration into Muggle world is
hard.
hard.
It's been so I've been slacking. So, but I am gonna start picking up and getting the show back going. We took like about 3 weeks off, and it was needed though. So if you do want to be a guest on our show, or you want to ask us questions or whatever, you can find us on Facebook, or you can email us at
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
What was that?
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
All right. So remember to always walk with the goddess, be kind to one another, and until next time, blessed be. We have done no clink and drinks. Well, we have, but
We did one.
Clink and drink, clink and drink, clink and drink, clink and drink, clink and drink. You too, clink and drink.
2 times.
So right across from me, clink and drink. All right, and drink.
That was my last sip.
Bye, everybody. End stream.
You got cards?